Welcome to Transitions. I'm your host, Antoinette Zloty. In this show, we will focus on skin and beauty. My guests on today's show work in the beauty industry. They will share their stories of entering the field and the challenges that they may have faced and who have been supportive of their work. Then we'll discuss some thoughts on skin and beauty, especially with regard to lightening and tanning. So please join me and welcome Amanda Sheriff and Carrie Hamilton to Transitions. Hi, let's start with you, Carrie. Can you share your journey into this field?
Sure. I originally started in the beauty business through hair and makeup. I was 16 and started doing makeup, started doing hair through my high school program, vocational program, and then got my license, all of that. Loved makeup, loved the transformations you can do from someone who wants to just feel better and look better to dramatic or evening or whatever, and just went from there. I was doing hair and makeup for photography, for a lot of things, and then changed careers for a while, did that kind of in the background, and then found out how you can do permanent makeup and put on makeup on people permanently. And then from there found out different skin treatments for paramedical tattooing, where you can help people basically tattoo on body parts, certain body parts, and cover scars and help to lighten skin in certain areas. And that's kind of why I think I'm here today to bring that portion to this show. I also started a foundation called Angels Inc. Foundation in Manitoba, where we raise money to help fund paramedical tattooing for people. I also have I work with Cancer Care. I'm the only person that has the contract with them to provide areola tattooing on men and women that have had their nipples and areolas removed because of breast cancer.
Thank you, Carrie. Now we'll go to Amanda.
Hi, everyone. First off, Carrie, just wanted to say that's very commendable. I think what you do is amazing. As for myself, I've been in the industry now for a little over a decade. I started off with the pursuit of pursuing makeup, which there was nothing available in Winnipeg at the time that would own in on cosmetics. So I did aesthetics training. And I said, oh, aesthetics is not for me. I need to get out of this. I didn't care for dealing with pedicures, manicures. I'm not a nails person. I'm a makeup girl. So with that being said, I went to schooling in Toronto. That's originally where I'm from. So went back to my roots and did schooling there. And my family and that's when we really started our business and we started powering at it. The roots came from back when we did liquidation closeout. It's kind of my mom and my older sister at the time that were really the feet to that. So we pursued that avenue. And then once we started doing that, it was selling really well. We started selling Iman and MAC Cosmetics and said, hey, let's create our own line. And originally too, it's like what really pushed, there's always a fire that is initiated in people to start something that they're passionate in. Is my mom went to a big department store in Toronto and they actually denied her service because they did not have her foundation color. So that was really astonishing. I'm thinking that was only, that was about 10 years ago. So that's crazy to believe that that was happening at the time. So we said, we need to just start our own thing. And we did that. So started in our home and we outgrew that quickly. And then we went, we were part of a modeling agency for a bit, just a little closet space. And we outgrew that quickly. And then we went to Osborne and we were there for about 5 years. And we have always had a desire to try to glamify and make people feel good about themselves and so on and so forth. So we decided that we're going to expand our business, and we have done so at 190 1395 Ellis Avenue, the Beauty Box by Sheriff. And we are doing everything glam. So a lot of makeup application, makeup classes, kids parties, services, and retail is what we really are focusing in on right now.
Fun.
That's wonderful. I think that both of you sound very excited and very compassionate about the people too that you work with. So have you found though that you've been challenged by some people who say, oh, you're just creating these images of women as sort of having these lovely eyelashes, lovely eyebrows, the lips and all of this. And, that's not real. That's not natural. So do you come upon that? The natural versus as you use the word glam, Amanda, and Carrie, you use another word too that have to do with medical needs that people have to change their look.
Well, I do. Those people obviously probably don't come see me, but they're out there for sure. People and people want to look natural, and that's something that I can give them too, though, is a natural look without, well, literally without makeup, but to make it just enhance little features that you might feel uncomfortable with or need enhancing, not necessarily some big glam thing, although that's a lot of fun too. But a lot of times people just want to, the people that don't need it just want to kind of feel a little better about themselves, or don't know how to put makeup at all, and want to be able to do the same, thing, whether it's glamorous or just more natural, but just to be able to do, have a little bit of something, wake up with a little bit of makeup on that they don't have to try to put on, or, spend an hour in the mirror trying to put on because they just either can't see or don't know how. And it's really good for that too. People that I struggled with the vanity part of it for a little while, and I thought, I consider it more like maintenance, or more, you don't hesitate to do maintenance on your car or your house. And as things age, you don't hesitate to do maintenance on them. So why would you treat yourself any differently? Why would you not want to do maintenance on yourself? I don't consider it vain at all. I consider it upkeep,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's move over to you now. Amanda, have you had people who think that even hosting parties for young girls creates this desire to look different than how they are look naturally, as in born with features?
Absolutely. And to each is to own. If it's not your thing, then may it not be your thing. Exactly what Carrie said, those are most likely not our customers. However, especially for young children, especially specifically more young girls that will one day blossom into young women, we're building a foundation of saying, like, you know what, own who you want to be. Okay, makeup is washable, but it also is something that as a day-to-day basis, it's going to help to give you self-confidence. When you look, when you are looking a certain part, then you feel like that certain part, you feel like that certain role. I don't know for you ladies, but when you're just rolling out of bed and your hair's all over the place, and you're in your pajamas and you've kind of had a lazy day, that kind of drags and lingers all day of, and it manifests how you were feeling because you didn't put yourself together. Even in the middle of a pandemic, we had people calling us wanting to do online classes because it's a thing to make you feel good about yourself. What's wrong with feeling good about yourself? Absolutely nothing. We have exactly what you said, Carrie. If we have to do maintenance on our vehicles, why not do maintenance on ourselves and feel good about ourselves, right? And I'm so thankful that we have that we're able to help put that confidence, especially into women, right? And the little children, the girls that come through here for the glam parties. So we're definitely a fundamental to that.
It's important. It's
Absolutely.
important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at any age then, like how young would you have the glam parties? And do you ever have a glam party of people who are 65 and over?
Oh yes, girl. Everyone just glam it, we will glam whatever you want, no problem. So the
Yeah.
youngest, I think the absolute youngest was 2.5.
Really?
And it's so adorable, like they mirror mom, right? So if mom's always putting her makeup on, what's wrong with your little girl coming in and getting a little bit of polish and just a little bit of blush and making her feel super special and awesome? We're not saying because you wear makeup, then that's going to make you a better person. That's not at all what we're saying. We're just saying, like it's a creative outlet. So why not, commend that behavior right off the hop. So you're putting a good seed into your child that in the future, they could be like the top makeup artist. Why not?
Okay, so let's switch over to the other gender now. People have in the past frowned upon men having their eyebrows done, or have you seen some changes? I'll go to Carrie on that first, and then I'll come to you, Amanda.
Sure. A couple of examples. A lot more men are looking at their appearance, and it's just, I think as a culture, it's just evolving into a little more of that lately. And examples that I have are not only cosmetic, but also paramedical. So I have I've done a fingernail on a man who lost his nail, tattooed an actual fingernail on. I've done areolas on men for paramedical reasons, eyebrows on a man that had been burned over 70% of his body, things like that, where they're missing a piece of them and they want to have that back. I do a lot of men's scalps where they lose their hair or have hair transplants that have scars that that need to be blended and make it look like they have hair again. I've done men who have just kind of lost their eyebrows over time and want a little bit of more shape and things. Men that have darker lips on certain parts that want to lighten them or make them a little bit more like a light pink, which is more desirable to them. But yeah, in general, over the last probably, I'd say 5 to 7 years in general, has definitely picked up with the male.
Great.
Gender.
That's wonderful, Carrie. Thank you. And over to Amanda.
Yeah.
What are you seeing among the guys?
Yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying, Carrie, but for yours, it's more permanent makeup and I'm more temporary makeup. So we get some people that come in. We also do brows here too. So it's more so for that for the men. And then we're going to be adding into our service menu where we'll be offering the pedicures and manicures. That is something that are calling a lot about lately, that they're wanting that. So we're definitely going to be getting those services happening in the beauty box. Absolutely. So it's not as busy for me right now with the men. We do get a few that come in interested in learning how to do the makeup application, especially if they're involved in the film industry and they're wanting to learn for film. That's definitely picked up. And I would agree with what Carrie's saying. That's probably within the last 5 years that it's been getting a lot busier with men.
Yeah.
Sorry, social media too. I think that has really brought a range of different options for men too, or men see other men that are doing those kinds of things and are like, oh, so it's not it's okay.
You're
It's
right.
okay.
Yeah, you're right. And I actually forgot to mention too, lately we actually have been getting more calls, and it's more for specifically one that we just had 2 weeks ago. He's involved in a band. So he's like, I make me look nice. I want to look good. He's like, get rid of these dark bags and make my skin look flawless and so on and so forth, groom the eyebrows. So yeah, it's definitely picking up. Social media. We have to thank social media for that, because I'm pretty sure it was through Zoom again, the band that he was involved in, but just wanted to look, flawless. Why not?
And Amanda, I've been to your store or your shop, and one of the things I particularly like is the fact that you tailor the color to the person, because we have to recognize that in our society we have a really wide number of skin color, from very, very, very fair colored people to very, very dark. So what I really like is the fact that you do that, and you pay attention also. I found that you pay attention to things like nurturing the skin and other things. Do you find any people coming in asking for permanent lightening of the skin or permanent darkening where there isn't a medical need, or even a temporary need, hoping that maybe you could help them with finding the right products? Because I've done a little bit of checking, and there are some products that are very dangerous to the skin. Do you find any people coming in looking for overall skin lightening or darkening? We could start with you, Carrie.
Yes, I do. I have people that come in with melasma, with the darker
Mhm.
spots on the face,
Mhm.
or age spots, or things like that, hyperpigmentation. I have people that come in with vitiligo and want skin darkening. Oh, you said cosmetic and not a medical need. Yeah. Lately, a lot of women are women of color, very interested in lightening their lips. If they're a little darker brown, or around the edges, or even throughout, they want a more permanent solution than a lipstick, or something like that. They would like to, some people feel just prettier with a lighter lip, and to each their own. But I do have that. I do have people that want freckles, or beauty mark, or things like that. And that's kind of fun to do too. But yeah, there's people that want to just not necessarily for medical reasons.
Okay, so what about yourself, Amanda? Have you found some people coming in saying, did you carry any of that cream and so on? Because some of these creams are so rampant, and soaps and so on in some countries too, not just among Black people, but there are a lot of non-Black people who are taking big chances with their skin, with healthy skin. So have you found them coming in looking for that?
Absolutely. That's another industry all by itself, probably multi-billion-dollar industry.
Mhm.
That's something that we don't carry, but we do private labeling as well. So when we're doing the private labeling, we'll get in skincare. That's what we cater in, but it's more like, cleansers, exfoliant, etc. It's not really any skin lightening or tanning solutions that we deal with. So when they're asking that question, we would just refer them over to someone that could help them and keep it at that. We're not here to judge. Definitely, it's a lot bigger though when it's not things that are permanent or putting a cream on. We'll get a lot of our customers that come in, like what you were saying, Antoinette, that tends to be more of the ethnic community, South Asians especially, and even in the the Black community will get it, and it will just be like, make me look white. And that's with that's with makeup that they're wanting that. And I don't blame them for having that mentality. That's something that goes way back into slavery. And if it's not ever talked about and we're not educated in it, then you're going to have this perception that thinking that lighter is better. And I know that mass media is starting to involve themselves and starting to get more of our darker skin role models out there to represent that, you know, dark is beautiful, but that's going to take time because we're talking, you know, we're talking hundreds of years of oppression, especially on the ethnic community where they're having this perception. And then in the Caucasian community, again, it's their perception that, you know, tan skin, dark skin, this is the thing. So until we get there, we just treat everyone with love and try to assist them where we can.
Thank you, both of you. That's very interesting. And I kind of like your perspectives on this because recently I've been thinking too that in terms of time, we're just a little drop in the bucket. You know, if you think of time continuum, and change takes a while to happen. There are some countries though that are banning certain products that come in almost everything, creams, soaps, and so on, in certain products. And I think that those kind of efforts to discourage people from taking those kind of risks with something that isn't, let's just say, it's very unhealthy. There's an article that I was looking at online, and it's from the Gambia in West Africa. And they haven't banned these products, but Australia, UK, I think there's some parts, maybe even of the USA, that where some of these products have been banned. I think that people have to be very careful though, because you go from one abuse system to another, right? I know cars, alcohol, all these other things. There are a lot of drugs that people are using too that are harmful. And, you know, it's an individual choice. What you want to do is up to you. But I mean, it would be very good for people to stay informed and be informed so that when they go out there in the marketplace, they know that this is something that could very well harm them. Look at what is in these products that can be harmful, whether it is, you know, avoiding that extra glass of wine because there've been studies about wine too, and about other forms of alcohol. So people take a lot of chances with their lives, but something like products that hurt, you know, there are restrictions that come about through policy and legislation that I think is a really, really good thing to avoid further abuses. So was there anything else that you'd like to say about skin lightening? Or like, we didn't talk a lot about tanning, but there's a whole history around how that came about as well. Anybody want to comment maybe on tanning?
I don't really have much experience with tanning, honestly. I've been burned severely a couple of times, so I pretty much stay out of the sun. It's better for my skin anyway. I see people that have tanned for years and years, and it's not good. That it you know, the skin gets tough and looks like leather and causes wrinkles and age spots and all kinds of bad things, just to, you know, for a nice glow, you know.
And I totally agree with you, Carrie. And that's the thing that we have to also talk about too, is, you know, skin lightening, not good, but also tanning, not good, you know. And if you're going to be wanting to do these cosmetic procedures, because let's call it what it is, for many, that's what it is. It's a cosmetic procedure. It's a perception that's been sold to you. This is the image that you want. Do it safely. If you're still not convinced otherwise, because we could face it, let's face it, we could chat about the dangers and you should not do this and you should love yourself and so on and so forth. But until there's a break in the mass production of media that's being shot out at us every single day of the perception of beauty, it's not going to change like that. This is something this is, as I said, hundreds of years of, this is the look. And then all of a sudden, within the last 5 years, it's like, no, actually, this is beautiful. That's going to take time for that to really register through people's minds. But at least we have a chance with the young youth right now to get a hold of them, be like, grow them up properly to love themselves fully and accept themselves fully. In the meanwhile, say you're not there, you could do things safely. As I said, for the light people, give me a tan, I need to look tan. For the dark people, I want to look lighter. You can do it with cosmetics safely, so it's washable. Take it all off. For the lighter, fair skin people, we can contour, we can bronze, we could add all that in. So it works. It's fine for your skin. And for the ones that are wanting that lighter look, I would never just put a light foundation on you. It's going to look ridiculous, but we can highlight, we could dark circles under the eyes. We could do color correcting all over the face, body, etc. So those are all the safer ways of doing things. And if that's going to give you peace of mind and make you feel fabulous, then go for it and you're not harming yourself.
Yeah, no, that's right on. I think that you guys have made some really great points, and I'm so happy that you were able to come on the show today. I think that those who are thinking of maybe going and getting some permanent work done may very well think that it's cost a lot, right? But in the end, when you're buying a lot of, say, products to fill in the eyebrows and so on, maybe it is better to go and get that. So we might find a little bit of working together there between between the two of you going forward, eh?
I can
Because
see that for sure.
yeah,
Likewise.
yeah, because even though you might get some permanent work on the eyebrows, I understand you still have to get around there and get those stubborn ones that have to be taken out and so on. I just want to find out if either of you had one last thing that you'd like to say before we end.
Aside from thank you for having us on the show. Was awesome.
I was very honored that you called me. I really appreciate it, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks to both of you, and I would like to also thank our viewers. I really appreciate them joining and watching our shows on Shaw Television. I also would encourage them to go to our website, as well as check out what we've got going on YouTube. So we try to get them all downloaded so that you can go back and take a look at some episodes that you might have missed. So for all you out there looking for some transitions in terms of your looks and what have you, we have two competent, capable women here ready to help you out. So thanks for joining us, and we really appreciate you being a part of our show today. Thank you.
Brennan.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.